All right, got a Camaro. Quick burnout test. Oh yeah. Well, those of you guys who've been on the channel a little while know that I obviously love Camaros, but I especially love 4th gen Camaros. I've probably had 15 of them at this point. I've had them all through high school, all through college. My first car was a 95 Firebird Formula. And that was also my first flip car, which I think I paid $1,200 for it. I think I put no money into a detail. They drove it for a little bit and I sold it for $2,500, and that led to the addiction that I currently have with not only cars, but fixing cars up and maybe making a little bit of money as I go. So background for this video, filmed this all this past, I think it was July, like early July. Just was busy with all the other projects you guys have seen on the channel, and never really got to upload it. And because there wasn't a ton of work involved, it wasn't really a priority to get it uploaded. But now I'm kind of between projects, waiting on a couple parts. So I think now's a good time to upload it. It's been a while since I've had an upload, so I've been wanting to get you guys some content. So yeah, here's the story of the 2002 Camaro. Stick around for the end if you guys are interested. I'll kind of break down, price I bought it for, investment, and then, what I made on it. So for now, I'm gonna send you back in time to summer 2022. You see me, just maybe slightly more tan. We're gonna get this Camaro all fixed up, all dolled up, and then we're gonna post it for sale. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. Catch you in a little bit. Did it again. Just can't seem to stay away from these things. Found ourselves in another 4th gen Camaro. So I'll show you guys what I bought. Here she is, guys. Newest project for the channel. Those of you guys who've been around for a little while know this is not my first 4th gen Camaro, first 4th gen F body, but I had to have it, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, this is a 2002 Camaro SS. It's got almost every single SLP option. A quick history on the SS cars for you guys. All these cars started as a Z28. Chevy then sent them to SLP in Toms River, New Jersey, and added certain options. All SS cars got the hood, the emblems, and the rear spoiler basically as a base, and then you could get other options like the 10-spoke chrome wheels were an option. The super rare thing that I'm most excited about on this whole car, super rare center mount exhaust, got the color match valance and center mount tips there. That's super rare. Torsen differential was an option, floor mats, key fobs, car cover, a couple other things, and all that can be found here on the passenger side door. So here's the sticker from SLP. You can see how loaded up this one was. It's got, like I said, 10-spoke chrome wheels, center mount exhaust, Auburn differential, the rear deck mat, the floor mats, grille, key fobs, and dash plaque, and a commemorative portfolio, evidently. But yeah, 2002, navy blue metallic, same color as the convertible that we did in a previous video. I'll put the link here if you guys haven't seen that already. Absolutely beautiful color. It's got 46,000 original miles on it. This one obviously is a T-top car. Black leather interior, automatic transmission, fully loaded, you know, as loaded as you could get one of these back in the day. It's got the 12-disc changer in the trunk. Yeah, super nice car. Super clean, super straight. There's only 2 flaws on this car that I've found. Well, 2 main ones. First one, scratch right here on the passenger door. Second one, little ding in the passenger side quarter panel. Other than that, there's a paint flaw in the rear bumper that we'll get into a little later. But other than that, this thing is just like, you know, it rolled off the showroom floor in 2002. But you know we're gonna make it better. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Little paint defect on the hood here. Not exactly sure what that's from, but other than that, this thing is super, super nice, super straight, and it drives awesome. So yeah, it's kind of a quick overview of the car. Let's get it back to the garage. I've already made a list of things that it needs and that we're gonna tackle on it, and we'll kind of go through them and we'll go from there. This thing runs and drives perfect. As far as I can see in the short amount that I've driven it so far, I can't see anything that this car needs. The steering is super tight, motor's got tons of power, sounds awesome, no leaks, everything works. It's a perfect 46,000 mile car. So as of right now, we'll see. You know, I think that this video is going to be mostly just fixing up some of this cosmetic stuff and really making this car a 10 out of 10. But anyways, let's get back to the garage and I'll show you what I already know we want to do to this car. All right, got a Camaro. Quick burnout test. Oh yeah. Check. Buy a used T-top Camaro, 4th generation, little Van Halen, and the CD player. Cannot make this stuff up. As if I needed another project. Got the CTSV we just finished. I'll leave the link to that right up here if you guys haven't seen it already. The thing came out awesome. 69 Camaro still in progress. Z06 needs some work, but you know, we got a full house here. But this thing was too good to pass up. So here's the things I've come up with immediately that I know I'd like to do to this car. I showed you guys the dent in the quarter panel. Interior is super clean, but as they always do, it needs a quick detail. Always like to do a paint correction, make sure the paint is perfect. Showed you the hood defect and the scratch on the passenger door. Quick engine bay detail. And also, I need to fix the tail light, which I'll show you right now. I don't know how this happened, but there's a little indent in this passenger side tail light. Wow, gonna be a good sunset. Love that. Anyways, dent right there. These are OEM taillights, and it turns out, you know, these things have really gone up in price. I think these are like a good condition one is like 350 bucks on eBay. So I think I'm gonna try and save this one before we buy a new one. But if we have to, we will. This car deserves to be perfect. Anyways, gonna get right into this stuff. Tomorrow morning, this car is going to Seacoast Paintless Dent Repair to get this quarter panel dent popped out. No paint damage that I can see. just the dent itself. So I'm gonna see if those guys can pop it out. There's really no access under here, so I think they're probably gonna have to go through the taillight. I do have to work tomorrow, so I don't think I'll be able to film any of it, but we'll see. Maybe I can kind of take you guys through the process. We'll see. But anyways, I'm gonna catch you guys in the morning, see if we can get that dent popped out, and we'll just keep knocking stuff off this list. Super excited about this car. This is probably gonna be a pretty short video, just because it doesn't need a whole lot, but I figured I'd take you guys along for the ride on how I kind of go through some of these quick projects. So catch you guys in the morning. All right, guys, next day here, we just got some crazy thunderstorm. Really, really hard rain, crazy lightning, thunder. I actually think the garage got struck. There was a loud snap noise from over here. Thankfully, I was standing over by the CTSV, but crazy, crazy thunderstorms this time of year. Still coming down a little bit right now, but thankfully, I was able to get the Camaro washed up, dried off after it finished raining, and pulled in here before it just started raining again. But yeah, so as you guys saw, we went to Seacoast Dent Repair yesterday, got the dent popped out of this quarter panel, and the guy did an awesome job. There's actually two other ones that he found, you know, kind of in this area, and you know, you would never even be able to tell that there was ever a dent in this panel, just laser straight. So a couple $100, no more dents in this panel, and now this body does not have a single dent in it, just super straight all the way down both sides. You guys know me. I normally do everything myself as much as I possibly can. So nice to start this project already crossing something off the list, and I haven't even lifted a finger yet. So yeah, the next thing I think I'd like to do is start looking towards this this paint. And the reason I'd like to do that first is because we're gonna have to do some touch up here. I'm not sure exactly what happened here, but we're down to primer there and in a couple spots here. The rest of the hood is absolutely perfect, so I think I'd like to try and touch this up. Maybe, you know, both with base coat and some clear coat, and then do some wet sanding and buffing and see if we can't make it look, you know, probably not perfect, but almost like, you know, invisible. Like you'd have to be looking for it to see it. Same thing on the door over here. I think I already talked about this. The scratch right here. I like to try and get that to look a little bit less noticeable, because other than that, this car is literally perfect. No scratches or dents or dings other than those two. So I'd like to get some paint on that. Then I think at some point we can get it up on the lift over here, check out underneath. You know, I've looked under there. It looks completely immaculate, but it'd be nice to get it up on the lift. But yeah, to get started here, let's start seeing if we can't touch up these couple spots here. Might give the engine bay a quick power wash. We'll get it up on the lift and check it out. right, interior done. Came out really good. Don't believe me? Have a look yourself. I mean, it looks like we got in a time capsule and went back to 2002. Immaculate. This thing is so clean. Door panels, no cracks, no stains, nothing. Even cleaned up the door jambs, shampooed the mats, conditioned the leather, obviously wiped down the dash, did a little steaming. Rear seats look just as good. Gotta love that F-body door slam. If you know, you know. Driver's side, immaculate. I mean, other than this, barely anywhere on this bolster where you guys know that's where they wear out. Interior is basically perfect. I think honestly the only thing even worth mentioning is that tiny little spot right there, which, I mean, I don't even know if that's worth mentioning in one of these cars. Normally this whole thing's blown out. So one of the cleanest interiors I've ever seen on these cars, especially for almost 50,000 miles. This thing was cared for, and it shows. But enough rambling about the interior. Also took care of those two little paint defects that we talked about earlier. Got the one on the hood touched up, and just finished up over here on the passenger side. The jet taking off out there. Hopefully you guys can hear me. But yeah, I mean, you can still see it a little bit. In order to get perfection here, you'd have to just repaint. But considering how obvious it was before, it's, you know, you guys might not even be able to tell on camera here. Looks really good, you know. Not as obvious as a white just kind of slash through the door there. So my process was obviously used our touch-up paint and then clear coat to kind of fill it in. And then we came down with the 1500, then 2000 grit, and then 2500 grit. And then we polished it out with our cutting compound and our foam pad. And really happy with the results. So both the major paint defects taken care of. Also got the engine bay fully detailed. I mean, this thing was pretty clean as is. There's just some dust and stuff on the shock towers, but I mean, look at that paint. Looks brand new. Get your SLP air lid here. 2001 and up cars came with the LS6 intake. I mean, hardware, just everything is so clean in this car. You know, really, really nice. So, engine bay, also good to go. So, those are a couple big items crossed off the list. Next, before we get into, you know, basically final paint correction and detailing, I'd like to throw this thing up on the lift and see what, you know, if this thing looks this good on the outside, let's get a good look at what it looks like on the underside. It's got a few aftermarket suspension goodies. I'd like to see the floor pans, pinch welds, things of that nature. Just make sure there's nothing else that we need to address to make sure this car is as perfect as possible. So let's back this thing out, move the Corvette, get it on the lift. Got the Camaro up in the air. Let's grab our light, see what we got. I already know, just because of the way the outside of this thing looks, and I've ducked under it, but you guys will have to see for yourself. I've owned a lot of these things, and this thing has got to be the cleanest one. It is like a trip to 2002 down here. We'll start at the front. I mean, on a car this low, for there to be almost no scrapes on the, you know, the lower part of the front bumper, that's a real good indicator right there. Original condenser, looks awesome. Factory overspray everywhere. Come under here. Look at these hydraulic lines, brake lines. Everything looks brand new. Look at the frame rail. Unreal. Let's see, first mod up here. We've got our factory shocks and struts. And I think those are, yep, BMR lowering springs. I had the same exact lowering springs on my 2001 Camaro back when I was like 20. Back in the day. Looked great. Great stance, just like this car has. No major hits on the K-member here. Same thing over here. Got our pace setter long tubes. Looks like we got a slight leak from the oil filter housing. We'll clean that up, tighten it up. That'll probably take care of that. No leaks at transmission. It's a catted Y-pipe. Got the O2 extensions. Look at these floorboards. Unbelievable. Look at the pinch welds. Never been touched. This is crazy. Super clean. These brake lines. Fuel filter. We got, looks like we also have some lower control arms here with greasable bushings. Another UMI panhard bar there. BMR springs in the rear as well. We've got our factory Torsen differential, which is an option on these cars. Looks like the breather is spraying some fluid out. I think that's pretty normal on these. Previous owner warned me about it. You know, and I know it's not the rear cover leaking or the pinion seal because this thing's been parked on my floor in this garage for 2 weeks now. No, 3 weeks. Not a single drip on the floor. So, you know, I don't see any drips here. I just see, you know, kind of some spray. I think that's kind of normal. But yeah, this thing is super clean. Back to the factory SLP muffler. Factory center mount exhaust. Love this. You guys can see I already started cleaning this up. We'll get into that a little bit more later, but man, this thing is nice. It's like brand new. What the tech would have saw back in 2002 when he put this thing on the lift. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to see and confirm the mods that I was pretty sure it had. Make sure there was nothing that we were missing under here, and it is just even cleaner than I expected. Could not be happier with this. So I think I'm going to grease the slides on the calipers. We'll maybe, you know, wipe a couple things down and get this thing back on the ground, get going on something else. Undercarriage checks out. Got the brake slides and pads and pistons and all that good stuff lubed up. Wheels back on, torque to spec. Car's looking good. Also, while the rear end was right up in my face, I decided to give the center mount exhaust tips a nice polish. I think I got some footage of earlier. They really always tend to get all sooted up around here, and this looks just slightly better than factory. This is a cast aluminum piece right here. So I hit them with a couple multi-stage process there. Wire wheel to get some of the really heavy stuff off, a combination with oven cleaner. And I did, I think, like 120 grit, then 240 grit, then 320, then 400. And then I think I hit it with my go-to aluminum polish. And it's not exactly a mirror finish, but almost like a dull mirror finish, which is even better than the factory, and it looks really sharp. Love the center mount exhaust on this car. So rear end's looking really good. So really, just about the last, some grease on my face. There we go. Just about the last thing to do on this thing is just a quick polish and final detail on the exterior. Interior is all set. Mechanically, the car is basically perfect. We'll take it for another drive after this, but paint is in really good shape. Just like the rest of this car, it's been really well maintained. I mean, the fenders are almost perfect. It's a little bit dirty right now. Need to wipe it down, but the hood's got some swirls. Hopefully I can get this to show up. I think I've said this in previous videos, but the hood always gets the worst of it just because, this is where water sits, sap, acorns, whatever it is. It's a horizontal surface. Top's all glass. Black looks good on the pillar here. Deck lid looks good too. Again, super dusty right now because I've been working on it, but I think I'm going to get away with just a polish on this car. I think I'll probably have to do some cutting compound and polish on the hood and maybe a little bit on the deck lid. But other than that, I think this thing's going to need a quick polish and it should be good. Also wanted to point out a flaw that I'm hoping comes out with a buff, and I'm hoping you guys can see in this light. See that cloudiness right there? I think this is overspray. Same thing, there's a little bit on the taillight right here too, and some right there on the deck lid. This car was backed into about a year ago, and they had to replace the bumper cover, the taillight, and just repaint them. And I think this is overspray. I can't think of anything else this would be. So it almost comes off just rubbing it, but this should polish out, so I'll let you guys know. But yeah, you guys know the deal. Let's give this thing a quick polish. You know everything I use. Heavy cut compound on the blue foam pad, finishing polish on the green pad, and we'll seal it all up with some of my favorite Blackfire paint sealant and have this thing looking right. So enjoy the time lapse. Very time consuming process, paint correction, but this one should be kind of light. It's a smaller car, the roof's all glass, and we're just doing basically a one step. So see you guys in a bit. This thing's gonna be looking awesome. What's up?
You're enjoying yourself?
What?
You're enjoying yourself?
Not at all, actually. Just trying to psych myself up because I hate it so much. That thing looks insane. The navy blue metallic is just pops. It really pops. This car, you guys know, this car was super clean when I got it, and now it's just on a whole nother level. It's about 1 a.m. on a school night. I am completely shot, so tired, and I think I'm gonna go hop in the shower and then just crawl into bed. I'm gonna show you guys this thing in the morning. I think you're gonna love it. So have a good night. See you soon. Welcome back to 2023, middle of winter. So let's recap. This car had been posted on Facebook Marketplace for a little while, I think for like 14 grand. And I'd seen it and I'd saved it because I even thought that 14 grand was like a pretty good price. But it wasn't, I just had too much going on and it just wasn't really fitting into what I wanted to kind of focus on at the time. Then I had a buddy reach out who works with the kid who was selling the car, who said, you know, I'm sick of Facebook. I'm sick of all these tire kickers. I just want this thing gone. You know, I need some money for down payment for a house or whatever it was. And my buddy knew that I was an absolute fourth gen Camaro, you know, enthusiast. So he hit me up, and at that price, I was like, well, I'd be absolutely dumb not to buy it. Long story short, I think I ended up negotiating the price down to like $9,300. I think he said he'd take 10, but I think there was a dent I wasn't aware about, or so I don't know. I don't remember what he said, but I got the car for $9,300. I think I put $50 into it. I don't even remember what that was for. So I think in total I had $9,350 in the car. I sold it for $18,500, which gets me a profit of $9,150. So came pretty damn close to doubling my money with almost no additional money invested as far as parts. So really just cleaning the car up, got that dent taken out of it, and just properly advertising. I ended up selling the car on eBay. Some gentleman down in South Carolina bought it, enclosed transport picked it up, and he was over the moon about it. So it's a win-win. You know, I got to kind of fix up's a strong word, but I got to have a 2002 Camaro for a couple months in the summer, a mint one, fully loaded SLP car, fixed it up a little bit. I sold it, made some money. Guy who bought it from me got exactly what he wanted, and the kid that I bought it from, you know, got what he needed as far as, you know, maybe a house down payment or something towards a house down payment, whatever it was. But anyways, just one of the many quick flips I've done in my life. Anyways, I have done a ton of these quick flips. You know, not only does it keep me busy, but also helps fund my car addiction. So if you guys are interested in this kind of stuff, let me know. Not everything I do is like a full-blown build like the Red Z06. Some of this stuff is gonna be a quick flip. So if you guys are interested in this kind of video where, you know, maybe do a quick flip and then do a cost breakdown, let me know in the comments, give the video a thumbs up. We'll be back on the 69 Camaro right here in the background, as well as I've got some content coming for the Mercedes as well. I'm gonna do my best to be uploading more often in the next couple weeks. So thank you guys as always for watching. We'll see you in the next one.